Australians are increasingly using credit cards to survive, and overdue payments are soaring in 2023. 1 in 6 Australians are struggling to pay off their credit cards as cost of living increases. And on average, each Australian now holds close to $2,000 in credit card debt, $7,000 in personal loans, and $11,000 in car loans. Now, I know things are getting rough out there, but if you ever find yourself in this situation where you just want to pay down some personal debt as quickly as possible, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can not only pay down your debts quicker, but also hopefully save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of interest along the way. I want to thank WeMoney for sponsoring this video, but more about them later on in the video. So the first step is probably single-handedly the most important step, which is going to end up saving you hundreds of dollars of interest. And believe it or not, it's signing up for a new credit card. More specifically, it's a credit card with a 0% balance transfer offer with a 0% balance transfer fee as well. A balance transfer is where you essentially consolidate your debt from one or more credit cards into one single credit card that offers 0% interest over a set period of time, which essentially gives you a chance to pay off all of your credit card debt whilst not incurring any additional interest. Another bonus tip with balance transfers that not a lot of people know is that you can actually balance transfer buy now, pay later debt as well. So it's not just restricted to credit card debt. Buy now, pay later debt is growing quickly, and the average transaction now has grown to $136. And according to the Consumer Law Action Center, most people who are resorting to buy now, pay later debt have already exhausted all other credit options. By moving your debt from one or more credit cards and consolidating them into one single credit card, you can avoid paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of interest. Now, it's also going to be extremely important to choose the right credit card, because if you choose the wrong credit card, you might be stung with what is known as a balance transfer fee, which is usually in the range of 2 to 3%. So if you're doing a balance transfer of $10,000, you could be charged an additional $300 worth of fees. Furthermore, most credit card providers won't actually allow you to do balance transfers if you hold an existing credit card from them. So if you had an existing credit card with ANZ, you couldn't do a balance transfer to another ANZ credit card. And so with all of these various factors to think about, you're probably asking yourself which credit cards are the best to do a balance transfer for you. And whilst there are plenty on the market, there's two that I specifically want to talk about. First one is the Westpac low rate credit card, which has a great sign up offer of a 0% balance transfer for 28 months, which is over 2 years of not having to pay any interest on your credit card debt. And on top of that, it has a 0% balance transfer fee as well. You can transfer from up to 3 non-Westpac issued credit cards for up to 80% of your approved credit limit. This means that if your approved credit limit was for $10,000, then you could do a balance transfer for up to $8,000. Now, one thing to note about balance transfer credit cards is that whilst you won't incur any interest on the debt that you transfer across, if you make any new purchases on your credit card, then those purchases will immediately begin incurring interest because you don't receive any interest-free days when you have an existing balance transfer balance. Which is why the next card is such a great deal, and that's the Citi Rewards Purchases and Balance Transfer card offer, which not only has a balance transfer offer with 0% interest for up to 14 months, but it also has a 0% interest on all new purchases for 14 months as well. So with this card, you can just continue to make everyday purchases with it and you won't be charged any additional interest. On top of all of this, the credit card also has a 0% balance transfer fee, and for the first year, they'll also be waiving the annual fee down to $0 before it reverts to $149 in the second year. So ideally, you'd want to pay down your debt within 12 months and close down the credit card so you aren't charged that annual fee. Now, Citibank is also one of the few credit card providers that allows you to do balance transfers from buy now, pay later debt, which is why I've included it in today's video. It also doesn't have a limit on the number of credit cards that you can do a balance transfer across, as long as you don't exceed 80% of your approved credit limit. So if you're struggling with more than just credit card debt, so let's say you have a car loan or a personal loan and you want to consolidate those as well, and that's where the sponsor of today's video, WeMoney, can help you guys out. The WeMoney app helps keep an eye on all of your debts and even finds you personalized offers to consolidate your debts. It only takes seconds to apply and get approved, and by doing so, you can pay a significantly lower interest rate on all of your existing debts. You can also connect all of your bank accounts so that you can see all of your accounts and your debts in one single place. And lastly, set yourself some actionable goals so that you can pay your debt down faster. Setting goals helps you keep motivated, and by just simply writing your goals down, it's been found to increase the chances of you actually meeting those goals by 43%. So download the WeMoney app today, and to help you get started on your debt-free journey, WeMoney will even give you $5 for free once you sign up and link one of your bank accounts. Links will be in the description box down below. Now, once you've got your debts consolidated, this leads us to the next step, which is to actually start paying them down. And there's actually two strategies that you can use here. And the first one is known as the Snowball Method. As popularized by the one and only Dave Ramsey, this method suggests that you pay off the smallest balance first before making your way up to the largest balance and then finally paying that off. So for example, let's say you had a $2,000 car loan with an 8% interest rate, a $5,000 credit card with a 20% interest rate, and a $3,000 credit card with an 18% interest rate. With the Snowball Method, you essentially want to make minimum payments on all of your debts, but then divert any leftover money to the balance that has the lowest amount. So in this example, we'd focus on paying down the car loan first, and then after that, you'd focus on the credit card debt with a $3,000 balance, and then rinse and repeat until everything is paid off. Dave Ramsey suggests that there is a huge psychological benefit in paying down the balance with the smallest amount. By seeing your debts paid off sooner, it gives you that mental boost to stick with it long term. Another added benefit is that by paying off the smallest balances first, this will theoretically free up some extra cash flow that you can then put towards the balances with larger amounts. However, one major drawback of the Snowball Method is that mathematically it will cost you more interest than the second method, which is known as the Avalanche Method. But before we move on to the video, if you are enjoying the content or are finding anything useful at all, make sure to hit that like button down below, and let's get on to the next method. Now with the Avalanche Method, instead of focusing on paying down your debts based on the total balance, instead you arrange them from the highest interest rate first to the lowest interest rate last. This ensures that you're putting your money towards the debt that is costing you the most, which will result in you saving the most interest in the long term. So for example, let's say you have a $1,000 credit card with a 20% interest rate, a $2,800 credit card with a 10% interest rate, and a $17,000 car loan with an 8% interest rate. What you want to do again is make the minimum payments across all of these different debts. However, any leftover money now goes towards the debt with the highest interest rate. In this example, it's the credit card with the $1,000 balance, and after you've paid off that balance, move on to the next balance with the highest interest rate, and that's the $2,800 credit card. And again, put as much money as you can towards that, and then just rinse and repeat. This is mathematically the best and most efficient way of paying down all of your debt. If you're indecisive between the two, in my opinion, if it is going to save you a significant amount of interest in the long term, then definitely go with the Avalanche Method. However, if it's not that big of a deal, then I would go for the Snowball Method, just because of the fact that the psychological benefits shouldn't be overlooked, and that's definitely going to keep you motivated to pay down your debts quicker. Now, whichever method you choose, your goal should be to pay down all of your credit card debts within the promotional period of the balance transfer offer. Because once that offer ends, the interest rate will revert back to the credit card's standard interest rate. Depending on how much debt you're in, it might not be feasible to pay off all of your debts in just 1 to 2 years. So you do also have the option to sign up to a new credit card with a balance transfer offer as well, and then just transfer the old credit card debt to the new one, and then just essentially rinse and repeat. Now, I know this sounds super obvious, but just by earning a little bit of extra money on top of your 9-to-5 job through a side hustle and then putting that towards your debts could be the difference between you paying off your credit card debt in 1 year versus 2. So check out this video right here where I talk about 10 side hustles that you can start today.